back a little bit later than planned for our final game of the season. It is against Ajax again, but thought we should bring that at least. We have our season review. I have some youth players that have came into the club to update you on. And do we still have a chance for Europe? Welcome back. Doleboy, Club 4, episode 15. No, we don't have a chance at Europe. We're not too far off, don't get me wrong. Between 5th and 7th we can finish, so we can't drop. But the last game, if we win, which, again, is against Ajax, so probably not going to happen. But if we win, we can drag ourselves up to 5th, which is fantastic. We were expecting to be finishing... Oh, where should we go first? We'll go general. We've predicted 16th in the media. If we look at ourselves against the rest of the league, they had us in 12th. So it's actually gone up. I think we were 150 to 1 at one point. So we've done really well in comparison to where we should be. But we have dropped off quite a little bit at the end. I don't know if it's that the teams are starting to wise up to our formation. Players just aren't performing as well as I'd want them to. Probably a combination of the two. Injuries, etc., etc. But I think we've had a really good season. Fofana has, well, I say he has finished third. There's still a game left. But he's third at the moment with goals. There is El Adrisi from Eindhoven that's just behind him as well. But as I say, I'm happy, really happy actually with this season. Unfortunate we couldn't carry it all the way through to Europe, but that would have been unreal to have been promoted and then find ourselves in the top 4. I promised to bring you our youth players, and here they are. There's quite a few of them. They're pretty damn good. Pick of the bunch is Paul Terhorst. 5'6". It's not exactly what we look for in a centre mid. He wants to be an advanced playmaker as well, which just isn't going to be a thing. But if we play him as a centre mid, 2 stars already, and he's only 16. He was born in 2012. That is painful. Prince Kando is another one we've got in, a left back. He wants to be defensive. Obviously, we play with attacking fullbacks, so it would bring in other things that he's not quite strong at yet. But again, he's only 15. Also, we have Moha. I'm not 100% sure. He's a centre back, 6'5". That is what we want. But again, his stats aren't the best at the moment. And final of the top 4 is Ton van Wijk. Ton van Wijk? We'll go with that. 6'1", 15, 6'1". I was about 5'8" when I was 15. That doesn't mean anything now, because you don't know how tall I am, and I'm not going to tell you. Ha! I don't know what I'm doing. We're doing all right. He's a decent player. We've got a good handful of young players coming through. Pretty tasty. And then even then, if you look at the top talents, there's another 4. I'm not going to go through all these, but I believe there's one of them. I'm just going to kind of bring it up in that regard so you can see them all, but I'm not going to kind of go past this. But I believe there's one of them whose stats look pretty handy. Isaac, he looks pretty good as well. Only 5'8". He's pretty slow as well. Why does it keep moving down whenever I look at these? Nick Campuis and Zakaria Suri. So it's quite a good bunch of players coming through. Also, bear in mind that if I put that in comparison to our current team, for 4 stars is Fofana. That was a struggle. Is a good Eredivisie player. Since the previous episode, we've played a fair whack of games. I am just going to run through them all, but before I run into that, you feel free to look through while I'm saying this. But if you can do me the favour of liking, subscribing, show your support on the channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. And give the bell a little tickle, and it'll tell you as soon as video's uploaded. Because I'm hoping for next episode to have a little change, but we'll see what happens. But even if we don't, we've got some good structures to build on here, and some good players coming through. After the game against Heerenveen in the previous episode, where your man scored 2 goals and broke time, because his first goal was technically later than his second, but I'm still a bit salty about it. We played Zwolle, lost 1-0. Lost then to Rotterdam 2-1. A 2-2 draw against Almere. You then saw me change formation to a 5-2-3, which did see the formation pick up some decent results. We beat AZ 2-1. We beat Venlo 1-0. To be fair, they're one of the worst teams in the division at the moment, so I would expect that to be a bit stronger. We did have a 1-1 draw against Feyenoord. They did lose a player in the 35th minute, though, so that did help us. A 2-1 win against Twente with 83rd and 92nd minute goals for us. We lost 1-0 to Utrecht from a penalty. NEC, we beat 2-0. A brace from Fofana. A 2-1 loss against Eindhoven. I don't know if I'm too much upset about that. It's frustrating to have taken the lead. We looked relatively confident, and then it just kind of ebbed away a bit. And most recently, I went back to our 4-1-3-2, and we had a 3-2 win against Willem II. We lost, well, we scored a goal early, lost a man, then made it up to 3-0 at half-time, and then kind of the tired legs started showing a bit, so they scored 47, 68, and we did see the game through. So we have our final game of the season now against Ajax. Our team to play them will be Karavic in goal, Seedorf, Van Buren, Amaro at centre-back, and then Kodeman completing the defence. We have Hall just in front with Torre, Hay and Voss as our centre mids. And then we have Savoia, I think it is, and Fofana as our strikers. Fofana's wanted currently by Parma. So it's Foday Fofana. He's wanted by Parma. Sounds like one of those little rhymes you have. But as long as it sounds like us getting a bag load of money, then maybe we're okay with it. One thing I have changed. I've put our fullbacks to wing-back support because the change in mentality and the instructions we've kind of already manually been putting on. So hopefully having it as support rather than attack, it might make the game think that our guy is going to be a little bit less tired. I don't know if it's going to have any difference, to be quite honest. And it might just make the team even more aggressive, which we don't want. But what my mentality on this is, or my thought, is I want a 10-man formation. So realistically, if Voss just isn't here, this hasn't helped. We'll put him up there just for the time being. But if Voss isn't here, this is technically a 10-man that can do everything. And then Voss is kind of our luxury player that we can just make him do whatever the hell we want. So whoever we're playing, if we wanted to be really aggressive, we can make him up to a shadow striker. If we want to be really defensive, we can whack him at centre-back. But fundamentally, those 10 players are my formation. So and then if I do eventually pick up a red card, which I don't like doing so, it means that we can sacrifice your man in the middle straight away and put him to replace whatever player it is that's dropped out. Our form, we're going with the Christmas form again, with the green, red, green, red, green. Formation is what it was. Ajax are just ruining it with the completely green form and a 4-2-3-1 and stupidly good players. Gravenberch alone is probably worth more than my whole team, but it's fine. They're only 19 points ahead of the team in second place as well. Throw in for ourselves. Kodeman puts it to Voss, who apparently wasn't being marked at all. Just short little plays. Keep the ball to ourselves. Don't be giving away the ball unreasonably like that. Gravenberch. Oh, I thought Voss was going to tackle in then. It just put the name on him for no reason. Alvarez to Guja at right back. Anthony. I'm sure you've all forgotten. These are technically our only fierce rivals. Don't know why I said technically. It just is. They are our only fierce rivals. So it's pretty stinky for us to have one fierce rival being the strongest team in the country by far. That's not ideal. But what we can do, if we can nick a point off them, I'll be over the moon. We have an attack. Took us about 40 minutes in the previous game to get an attack, but we got a shot off in the first 12. How wonderfully exciting. I did completely ignore the fact that our guy did an absolute monster of a block on their attack in the first section. But I was too busy talking about other stuff, but fair play to him. Their goalie ran out, caught himself out of possession. I thought Seedorf was going to have a pop then. Hall, Karavic, lump forward towards Fofana, who's not even attempted to challenge for that header. Van den Ven on the ball, puts it up to Mamet, who is being set forward because Seedorf sprinted ahead. Karavic plays it short to Amaro. If this highlight... Do you know what? If we go through to half-time still at 0-0, I'm tempted to put our fullbacks to fullback support as opposed to wingback support. But, I mean, to be fair... Oh, it's another decent... Do you know what? I'm doing it anyway. Because the fullbacks are too aggressive. And we can't afford it with this formation. Especially against this team. But I'll put them to fullback support. We'll try and make sure that all the rules are still there from what we were asking. So we still want them to stay wider, run forward, dribble more, etc. And cross more often. But hopefully the mentality change will just see them not be quite so aggressive. Might just be that I'm forcing them to do so with those rules anyway. But it makes me feel better. seeing him as fullback support rather than wingback support. Coderman is pegging it down the left side, carried on running. We also aren't going to see these changes take effect yet. But Toure is through the middle. He has 2 men in front of him and goes for a pop, and I believe he's weak foot. Half time does see our XG, that of James Bond, and their XG are the team that are dominating the game. Highlight, straight from kickoff. I don't like where this is going already. Van Axel Dongen, he's had the ball put through to him. He's only got 1 man in the middle. 3 men in the middle now, and he's gone all the way back to his fullback. Van den Ven, Gravenberch on the edge. Navarro's open. Oh, and his shot is just wide. The hour mark has just passed. 65 minutes, to be precise. Fofana isn't performing particularly well, so we'll bring him off for Finn Howers. We'll also bring Savoya off for Arp. Again, why not? We'll leave Seydorf on. He said he was tired, but he can get over it. We'll take Hay off also for Castro. We'll give him a little bit of game time. And I'm thinking we'll swap him and Toure about. Just because why not, really? Ajax with a throw-in on the left side. Puts it to Keulemans. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. We've dispossessed him. Seydorf back to his centre-back. Van Buren to Hall. Back to Van Buren. And put full to Arp. He nods it over to Howers, who looked like he went to 2 foot someone, but he didn't apparently. We've won the ball straight back. Keep it, guys. Just don't faff about. Don't lose possession. Seydorf. Good ball through to Castro. Brilliant through to Howers. He's in. Is he going to... Oh my God, he tried to break the goal. He didn't aim for the goal. He wanted to destroy it. Towards the last 5 minutes now, I think we may very well be able to steal a point, which I'm pretty happy with. We've got a highlight. 89 minutes this highlight is. It's 2 minutes injury time as well. Coderman. Amaro. If we can nick a win, I'm all for it. Amaro. Hall. Voss. Right, you got men in front of you and out wide. Castro, what are you doing with this lad? He does put it towards... I was going to say he puts it towards Howers. He didn't. He just kicked it generally forward. Didn't find a man. And now all of Ajax's booked players are on the ball. Guija? Not a clue. Anthony, back to the fullback. He's in on the area. And he's gone and scored. Well, that's ruined my day. So, game's basically done. Just after they scored, he decided to inform me that that was the guy's first senior goal. Splendid. It turns out, in Holland, they have a European places playoff, which is good. We are in that with Utrecht and AZ. We're playing Sparta Rotterdam first. It just says semi-final, so it doesn't appear that there's any sort of legs or anything. So we're going to have one more episode. We're not going to do it today. We'll do that in as I say, next episode. I hope you'll be back for it. And I hope you're enjoying me, Ugly Mug, because there's a few items on screen you can click on if you want to carry on seeing it. Thank you very much for your time.